Jamaica didn't just miss the 2026 World Cup. They stumbled, tripped, and faceplanted on the world stage twice. And instead of owning the collapse, the Jamaica Football Federation has chosen the easiest target in the room, Steve McClaren. But here's the problem. When you point one finger, four point right back at you. And the JFF might be about to learn that the hard way. The JFF strategy: blame the foreigner, save face. President Michael Ricketts didn't just critique McClaren. He detonated him. He blamed the mismanagement. He blamed the disconnect. He blamed the results. He blamed the living in England situation. He blamed the entire World Cup failure on one man who isn't even here to defend himself. It was a clean, convenient narrative the kind federations love. Translation: it wasn't us. It was him. But let's be honest. Jamaica's problems didn't start with Steve McClaren. And they won't magically disappear now that he's gone. The reality: this isn't a McClaren problem, it's a system problem. McClaren didn't create the decades-long structural issues, the communication breakdowns, the player availability chaos, the federation politics, the revolving door of coaches, the 26-year World Cup drought. He walked into a system that has chewed up and spit out coach after coach, local and foreign. Jaime Hallgrimsson left. Paul Hall left. Whitmore was pushed out. John Barnes didn't survive. Now McClaren is the latest casualty. At some point, the pattern stops being about the coaches. At some point, the federation has to look in the mirror and at the players. But instead of accountability, we got a press tour blame session. The JFF may have just poked the wrong bear. Right now, McClaren is silent. But silence is never permanent, especially when your reputation is being dragged through the Caribbean mud. And here's the part the JFF should be terrified of. McClaren knows things. He knows what meetings looked like. He knows what support he did or didn't get. He knows what Hallgrimsson won through before him. He knows what promises were made. He knows what resources were missing. He knows what internal chaos he had to navigate. If he decides to speak in history says he will, the JFF could find itself exposed in ways it never expected. Because when a coach fires back, he doesn't just defend himself. He reveals the cracks. And Jamaica has cracks. The JFF's new plan: local coaches only. Ricketts says the foreign coach era is over. Done. Finished. Never again. He wants speed and Coley. He wants local leadership. He wants stability. But here's the twist. If the JFF truly believes the program was mismanaged, then why did they allow it to continue for 16 months? Why did they wait until after the World Cup failure to speak up? Why did they not intervene earlier? Why did they not fix the issues they now claim were obvious? You can't blame a man for driving the car off the road. When you handed him the keys, ignored the warning lights, and never checked the brakes. The final word: the JFF better be ready. This isn't over. Not even close. The JFF has fired the first shot. But McClaren holds the ammunition. If he decides to unload, if he decides to reveal what really happened behind the scenes, the federation may regret ever mentioning his name. Because right now, the JFF is trying to rewrite the story. But McClaren might be the one holding the final chapter.